Hey guys, this time around we're going to be talking about fasting, fasting and prayer, and how it will help our spiritual walks with God. Um, the reason why people tend to fast is to grow in their dependency for God, right? There's a lot of times when we go through our lives and it's easy to just be like, oh no, I got this. I know what I'm doing, to go out and need help, right? It's a source of pride that we could have. But fasting, going out and being without something that you rely on or something that you feel like you need, really sort of can break you down, and then opens your heart up to go and turn to God for all your needs, all your wants, and because God is there for that. And some examples we have is David in Psalms 35:13. He says, I humbled my soul with fasting, right? And, being a king, he has pretty much everything at his beck and call. And but he still is like, no, I need to step back and depend on God, right? I need to give up what I'm used to, my pleasures, my, it's usually food. So I know if you go maybe like a couple of meals without eating, you get very hungry and probably bitter and like upset, and it's just not a comfortable time. But in that uncomfortability, you find yourself humbled, because you're not able to do and like be your best, and you're able to understand it's like, dang, God can help me through this uncomfortability. And we see that when Jesus goes through the desert, right? When he is going through the wilderness and he fasts for 40 days and 40 nights, right? And we talk about, not eating food for a whole day and see how like agonizing that is. But Jesus goes and he does a whole 40 days and 40 nights, which in and of itself is an incredible feat. But he was, the Bible says he was hungry, rightfully so. And then Satan came and like tempted him, but through the fasting, not just the act, but with the prayer that came with it, he's able to center himself on God, right? And he's able to, through every test that Satan threw at him, like turning the stone into bread, or it's like, look, I could give you all of this, or jump off of that, and surely your angels will save you. Jesus was like, no, my, I get my stuff from God. God is where I get my sources from. And Jesus was blessed for that. And I think in the same way, when things get hard and we want to depend on ourselves or stuff we have here in the material plane, we need to remember that it is God who gets us through hardship, and it is God that raises us up when we need it, because He's there. And I think to challenge yourself to, all right, what am I gonna go without? Because when we do our fasting with the church, it's not everyone just does food. I know some people that might have a pseudo caffeine addiction might go without coffee, which could be difficult for them. Myself, I love my mobile games. There's a couple times I went like, I'm not gonna play any video games or on my phone or otherwise. It was hard because that's the way I distract myself and just like get out of my head. And I really found like, okay, this is the time I could have been spent playing video games. I'm going to spend with God. And through those hardships we bring upon ourselves comes that humility that we desperately need to be like, no, God is the answer. God has what we need, and not these things that we think could be a fix-all, right? And through that fasting to pray, to really, that's how you do the connecting part, right? Like having the conversation with God's like, God, this is hard. Like, I need you to help me through this. For some people, it's like, I'm going to pass out because I don't have my coffee. I need you to give me the energy. I need you to give me the motivation to go through today, right? And it's just a wonderful thing afterwards. Like through it, it's tough. And like I said, you might get bitter because you don't have your comforts at hand like you usually do. But at the end, you're able to look back and having that deepened relationship with God through the prayer and fasting, you just feel like you could do anything, right? So if you want to give it a try, just go a day without something that you seem to depend on a day-to-day basis that you don't need. Whether it be food or maybe something that maybe it's video games or a certain TV show or something like that. Just go out and instead of doing those things, use that time to go to God, and especially if you're feeling that hardship, to really go to God and pray and be like, hey, I need you, right? So think about that, and when we get back to class on Wednesday, I'm going to be talking more about how fasting and prayer could help us in our lives. Thanks, guys.